Okay, I'm ready.
You ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. What are we doing today?
I thought you were going to introduce the podcast.
Oh, sorry. This is the Experience Podcast with me and someone else.
And it's Mary this time. I will not.
Yeah, Mary hasn't been on in 7 years.
That's not true.
She's a world traveler. That's the primary reason because of it.
Daniel really likes to exaggerate. I've been 2 places this summer. One was St. Simon's, which was fun. The other was Wisconsin, which was also fun. But that's it. And New York at some point. But
that's
really,
3 places. Okay.
3 places. But that was towards the beginning of the summer. I can't be everywhere at once, people,
No, that's why you space it out. You're everywhere each week. You're in a new place.
That's right. That's the spirit. So I was telling Daniel, to the listeners, I was running a little bit late today because I was being a mediator for my mom and my sister and my dad, because they're all having, no one can figure out who wants to pay for my sister's, living expenses, because she's at that super fun time of life where you're a grad student but have no real job, so you have no money but you still have to pay rent. Super fun. Everyone misses that time of life, I'm sure, but they can't figure it out for the life of them, and they won't talk to each other. So just, being the Virgo eldest child, I really trying to take them all by the hand. I was like, okay, each of you send me your paychecks and send me your health benefits packages, and I'm going to compare them and make Annabelle a budget, and we're gonna figure this out right here, right now, But I'm still waiting.
Is there any possibility here that you become the primary benefactor?
Yes, because I'm charging them $100 an hour for my services now.
Oh, that's good. Yeah. That's good.
No, it's out of the goodness of my heart. Truly. I tried to stay out of it for a while because it's, very mentally taxing, but it just, I have to use my talents for good, and, I'm a spreadsheet queen, so gotta do what I gotta do,
And you got a lot of nicknames. M-Dog, Spreadsheet Queen.
Spreadsheet queen is what my colleagues call me.
Oh, okay.
Professional.
I don't call you any of these, so I'm not sure.
What do you call me?
I can't say that in a public podcast.
Oh, wow. Okay. Should I turn my video off to the listeners? I have my video on, but
you keep it on. Mine's
okay.
Just mine.
There's a few things I want to highlight about my appearance. One, I have a really bad pimple. I know they can't see it, but
there were comments that were mentioning that.
It's there.
I didn't want to bring it up, but you brought it up, so.
It's there. It's loud and proud. I haven't, it's been a few months since I've had a bad one, but it's there. I'm just taking it day by day, hoping that it goes away if I resist touching it. And then the other update is this weekend I got my ears pierced for the 2.5 time. So, exciting.
Like the same spot?
Yes, the same spot.
Not like a new piercing, not like you have a second piercing. The first piercing multiple times.
For the listeners, I don't have a lot of piercings. I when I was 12 years old, I got my ears pierced, and I had to, oh, not 12. I must have been younger than that. I played 6th grade basketball. It wasn't pretty. I wasn't good at it, but I did play it. So I got my ears pierced like a week before a game or a couple weeks before a game or something. And you're not supposed to take your earrings out when you've just gotten your ears pierced, like not even for a little bit. But there was a trick about the basketball games. You weren't supposed to wear jewelry for them. But everyone said that if you put a little skin-colored Band-Aid over your earlobes, that the referees won't notice. How sixth grade me believed that, I'm not sure. But I tried it and it failed horribly, and the ref made me take my earrings out. And it really was so stupid, because like I wasn't even good at the game, so I should have just been like, okay, well I guess I can't play, because I can't take my earrings out. But instead I took them out, and after the game, it was absolutely horrible getting them back in. And one of them I was unable to get back in. The first one took like 30 minutes, and it was basically like me and my mom like stabbing my ear while I'm like screaming in pain, because it had started, your earlobes try to close really quickly. Like, it's not natural to have a hole in them. So when you first put a hole in them, as soon as you take out the thing that's keeping the hole there, they're like, let's try to close this up. So basically we had to rip open that hole and got that earring in, but I couldn't do the second one. I couldn't do it. It was too hard. I was in so much pain. So it closed, and for a while I only had one earring, like a pirate, and then I got that one re-pierced. And then, so that was what I would consider 1.5 times. And then I took those earrings out after a couple years, and then didn't wear earrings again for like 12 years. And so they have been closed for a very long time, or had been closed for a very long time. And I just had a little bumpy, but then I went and I got them pierced this weekend. So I would consider that the 2.5 time. What do you think?
Yeah, I guess so.
Same hole.
Yeah, same hole. Yeah.
I would say 3 times. It feels like it was the 3rd time, but really it was only the 2.5.
But yeah, if it was only 1 year, it's
Right. Doesn't
yeah.
count.
Anyway, that was whole talk.
I know, again, it's different because the listeners can't see, but they are there. I have little earrings now, and I feel like a little princess, so pretty. And I got a haircut, but again, you can't see that either. I really just wish I could. Have you thought about doing a video podcast? Except I want to remain anonymous, so you'd have to blur my face.
You want to do a video podcast, but you don't want to be on video.
Blur my face, but show my ears and my hair.
Okay, and the pimple too.
Pimple.
Yeah,
no, let's just blur the pimple.
People were commenting about it, so.
For the best. Let's blur it out. Actually, this lighting is not too bad right now, but.
I was gonna say, I did not notice, and even that you pointed it out, it's really hard to tell.
It's the lighting.
With the lighting, and maybe Skype is doing some,
Skype is doing me a solid.
Smoothing. Yeah, it's doing some.
Trying to grain me out, But anyway, what's new with you, Daniel? What's up? What's new on the
no
podcast?
new holes on my side.
Okay. Have you thought about getting one?
No.
Not even like an eyebrow piercing? That could be cool.
You want me to do an eyebrow piercing? I think that would.
Just saying, something to consider. The tongue? That's a fun one.
I don't think I could do a tongue piercing. I don't know if that's
A lip?
That's not on the mouth.
My friend got a lip tattoo.
A lip tattoo?
Yeah. Have you heard of them? They're very popular.
No, I'm not a popular person, so I would not have.
I know two friends that wanted to get lip tattoos with very different things. One of my friends is a little bit, she's very Christian, and she said that she wanted to get, or either she wanted to or she knew someone who had this, and I can't remember which. She wanted to get a lip tattoo that said praise on her lip so that it would be like this worship song she knew that said, "May his praise be forever on my lips." So that's the one friend. And then the other friend I have got just the word slut on her lip. They're very different people. But they are
Okay.
friends with each other.
Uh,
So
so should I go with slut or praise
I
on my lip?
think slut personally would
Interesting.
be like
That's the type of person I am.
that would be like a little more trendy, I think. But praise would be kind of like, it comes with a story. So, or you could come up with something brand new to put on your lip tattoo.
No, I'll just be a slut.
I think
According to her.
I think this is a segment that you should add to your podcast where you ask people who come on if they had to get a lip tattoo, what would they want it to say? I think mine would say M dog.
Yeah, well, obviously.
What would yours say?
I don't know. I don't.
Chemist.
Kevin, I'm not. I don't even do that.
Ooh, what's like slang for nuclear reactor?
The slang. Like, what do the kids call it?
Nuke. You could put nuke. That could be cool.
I mean, I'm not that into it, you know. It's
Or
not.
it'd be hard to fit on your lip probably, but you could put radioactive. That'd be cool.
You could make it really small, right? You know,
Really, really, really small.
squeeze it in. I have a very small mouth, so it would have to be really small.
They're not like, it doesn't seem like the easiest thing in the world either. 'Cause like the lip, like, kind of bleeds. Like it's like writing on wet paper, you know?
Oh yeah, I feel like I don't know. This is just I don't know if this is gonna happen. I'm sorry.
Is this too much?
I
This
think
is
we're
too
gonna have
much.
to. This might be too much.
What about Danny?
That's what you think I should get.
Silver. I don't know. Clearly I don't know you well enough. What else? What do you want to put on there?
Well, you know, again, I don't call you M dog, so again, I'm not on that top. I'm not on the top tier list.
What's your
Probably.
passion? What's lip tattoo worthy?
I,
Or like you think it would be a funny gimmick, you know?
I don't know. I'm not really good at ideas.
That's why you host this podcast, right?
Yeah.
Sure.
Facilitate.
All right. Well, I think you should add that as an icebreaker on your show sometimes.
Okay. Well, I'm recording a podcast after this, so I'll ask that on.
After this,
I know. I double booked tonight.
You double booked me?
I double booked.
Oh my god.
Well, I asked them. I said, "What time this week?"
Wow.
And they said, "It has to be tonight." And I was like, "It's gonna have to be like at 9:00 because I have a very important guest on who's in the top tier of my friends."
Who hasn't been on in 7 years.
Who hasn't been on in 7 years, so I got to get her on tonight. And they're like, "Fine, we'll do it later." So.
Who's your second guest?
You don't know them. You don't know.
You didn't want to combine us. You don't think we would have been a good match?
You could have made it work, but I figured we needed a Mary Spotlight episode because you haven't been on in a while, and I figured you had a lot to.
I do have so many updates. It's true.
There's so many updates. So.
It's true. Okay, so remember how I took a new job? Do
Yes,
you?
yes. Yes,
Have I been on? Have I been on since I took the new job?
I'll be honest, I'm not sure you have.
At the government.
I'm not sure you have. You might have. Let me see if you messaged me about it, and then I'll know. The last time you were on was April 18th.
Okay, so that was post new job, but only 1 month in.
Okay.
It's bonkers. It's crazy. I gotta get out of there.
Oh my god.
I
This,
know. Quick
this,
turnaround. But
I think you're just not good at jobs, Brianna.
I
I'm
think
sorry,
it's a
but
very real possibility that I'm not. But let me tell you this. Okay. I'll just give you like the quick and dirty of weird things that have happened. And you're not allowed to ask any follow-up questions. Okay. Number one. My one boss recommended erotica audiobooks to me during my second or third week. Number two, my boss also, what did she do? I'm gonna make my video go off for this just in case someone sees me. She made a really racist joke that not even a joke, she just made an extremely racist comment that I just, I didn't even process it quickly enough to react. What else? My other boss clips his nails at his desk, like just out in the open, leaves them on the desk. Maybe he throws them away eventually, but it's gross. Back to the other boss. She showed me her underwear today, to show me what kind of material they were. What else? She told me I had lost weight, which was very awkward for me. Also, what else? Was something good recently? Oh, she was on speakerphone with her sister for like 45 minutes the other day with the door open, and her office is like right there. 45 minutes talking to her sister. For the first half of that conversation, they were planning their trip to Panama City or something. Second half of the conversation, they were comparing their boob jobs, both cost and how they turned out, and the scarring, and some other fun bits. I heard it all. And it was on speakerphone. Did I not mention that? What else? My coworker came into work with a leftist tears mug. That was fun. Kinda cool and edgy. And what else? He hates his wife, even though he just got married in May. Every time she calls him, which she does call him like 3 times a day, he goes, "What now?" and rolls his eyes and then answers and says, "What?" And then he just kind of like, mm-hmm, 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 for like a few minutes. And then he said, "Okay, I gotta go. Love you too." So that's also been really fun to watch. What else? What else? That's about it for now. Oh, my other boss says that Italian food has too many unnecessary carbs and also eats like a bucket of pistachios a day. Okay, that's it. Now I'm done. Do you have any questions?
well, you said I wasn't allowed to ask follow-up questions.
Okay. Now I meant during. Like, you gotta let me get through them. Now you can ask follow-up questions.
I will say, obviously, there's a spectrum of activities going on. Like, some of these aren't terrible, right? Some of these are just like, maybe a little annoying.
When you put all of them together is when it starts to be
Sure, yeah. The environment
weird.
in general is a bit strange. But like I would say most of these are not like I wouldn't call them deal breakers.
They're not deal breakers. It's just weird.
Yeah.
Also, it's an hour away from my house and fully in person, and the government just kind of sucks.
Okay, well, let's go back. Let's go back in time. To about a year ago, when Mary was begging to work, not even a year ago, 6 months ago, Mary was begging to work for the government.
It was like a year ago.
It was a dream job of
like
hers.
8 months ago. This was my dream.
Do you remember that?
And sometimes,
do you remember that little Mary back in the day?
Sometimes dreams come true, and they're not what you thought they would be. Sometimes dreams come true and you realize they're just a lot of unnecessary paperwork.
I will say, so for our listeners, Mary works for, is it the local government? It's officially the local government?
Yes, officially a local government.
So,
basically
very
Parks
different.
And Recreation.
I would call it different. I would say, I haven't worked for local government, but it's probably different than state and federal.
It's a lot different. It's a lot.
I don't do a lot. I'm trying to think of unnecessary. I don't do that much unnecessary paperwork.
Oh my god, there's so much paperwork.
By paperwork, do you mean physical paper or like just forms and other things?
Often physical paper that I have to print out and fill out and then scan back in. Because
I don't do any
PDF. We don't have a PDF editor, which is also bonkers.
I don't do any of that. I have I should say no complaints. I have very few complaints about work for the federal government. It's just.
Yeah, my other friend who works for the federal government also has no complaints. But
there is complaints, but it's so much easy. It's very stress free.
Yeah.
And that the stuff you mentioned would not happen at a federal agency. I wouldn't.
Sure. I also only work with 3 people, so.
Yeah, it sounds like you just have an eccentric group of employees. I think that's the nice way to put it. I wouldn't say this is ever, I bet if you go work at a different state or a different jurisdiction, you might be different.
Even a different division would probably.
Sure, yeah. Again, I don't know how big the.
This is an odd bunch.
Your group is. So your plan is to get out, is what you're saying.
My plan is to get out. And
what about, like you said, what about transitioning to a different division?
Well, the other problem is I want to work from home, at least, have the option to, which is not county policy. And also, they're so, rigid with their rules and stuff because we have Microsoft Teams, but we're not allowed to use Microsoft Teams. Is that weird? Yes. To me, that's weird.
What do you mean by you're not allowed to use it?
We're not allowed to use it for messaging.
What about meetings?
You can have meetings only. You're not allowed to message anybody.
Why do you need a meeting if everyone's in person?
I know. These are great questions.
Okay.
So we basically never use it. Last week I did get invited to a Teams meeting with everybody who was in person at the office. And it was just to test someone's audio. But for some reason we stayed on it for 30 minutes and people were just silently on this call, just testing out different backgrounds on Teams. I have a photo to prove it.
Look, you gotta get into federal.
Look at this.
Okay, I see. You took a photo of your computer.
Yeah. Of all the people with different backgrounds on. Because literally, we're just on. I was like, can we get off this meeting? And they were like, it's a game to see who can stay on the longest. It was so odd.
This is what the local taxpayer dollars are going toward?
Apparently. But we're not allowed to message on Teams because of open records requests. So.
Really? Well, but, yeah. Here's the thing about that. We have that too, obviously.
Sure.
But you can just change the retention policy.
I don't know what it is.
That's too complicated for them? Basically, we have that too, but our Teams messages automatically delete after 7 days.
I don't know
So,
what it is. It's too
so
complicated, I guess.
because of that, we don't have to submit our messages to FOIA, right? The Freedom of Information Act.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the solution is what I'm getting at, is you would just have your messages auto-delete after 7
You
days. But that's
know,
probably too much for your group.
it's out of my hands. It's
Yeah.
not just my group, it's county policy.
Okay, so it's out of, it's too much for the whole county.
I know. It's just, and like, to get, I technically am allowed 1 day of remote work, but it's very odd how it is. Like,
Ever? One
yes,
day ever?
no, 1 day per week, but it has to be the same day every week. And there are a lot of rules with it. Like, I had to fill out all these different forms, and I had to fill out the form like 3 different times because they said my explanation wasn't good enough. And it was just very odd. Like, I had to give a justification for why my teleworking 1 day a week is beneficial to the county. And I'm not to mention work-life balance. That was explicitly said. And so I was like, what? What do I
Yeah, see,
put?
there's,
One fewer person on the roads in the county, I guess. I don't know. I ended up finally getting it passed, but like I had to like, it was horrible. It was so annoying. And also every day that I telework, first of all, no one's allowed to telework on the same day in my department, in my like group. We have to take turns. Like, we each picked a day, and that was your day. And basically it's treated as like a solo day because we're not allowed to use Microsoft Teams. So like, it's kind of hard to communicate with people. You just have to like pick up the phone and call them, if you need anything. And
Mary, I have breaking news.
what?
Microsoft Teams has calling features.
Yeah, but no one uses
But it's too
that.
much.
I don't know how to explain it to you, but no one uses it. It's a very different world than what you're used to, I promise. And your telework day, also at the beginning of the day, you have to fill out a form that says what you will be working on that day. And at the end of the day, you have to fill out another form that says what you worked on that day.
So I feel like on the form you just say, I'm filling out this form. That's what I'm working on today. And at the end of the day, I will be working on the follow-up form. That's my work for the day. It took me so long to do the form, I couldn't do any other work.
My coworker just makes up some shit in the morning for his, and then for the later one, he just says, see form from earlier today for what I worked on. So I don't think anyone's reading them, but it's like, why do we have to fill them out?
Yeah, you should put clues in there, like put a little scavenger hunt, see if they figure it out.
It's just so odd. Like, and the people are so odd, and it's so far away, and it's just not worth it. Also, traffic is like boring.
Well, you can still apply to those federal jobs, can't you? Are they still open?
Well, yeah, sort of, kind of. I may one day. But also, like, maybe I don't want to work in the government.
What about that? What about your old job? I'm sure they're hiring. Actually, they might not be. They might be laying more people off.
They are supposedly hiring again, but I'm not going back to structural engineering. But I'm keeping in touch with them just in case. And, yeah, just in case. But
they're hiring at my agency, Mary.
My old boss from the last internship I had before graduating, I never lost touch with. And she and this other guy have like started their own company. And I'm going to go work for them next year.
That's risky.
I know, but I'm going to do it.
But you have no choice because you hate all your other jobs.
That's right. I'm just gonna keep narrowing it down until I get knocked up and then quit my job entirely.
That's the plan?
That's the plan.
Does Drew know about this?
Drew's very supportive. That's all I'll say about that.
Of this strategy. Okay, interesting.
I'm being a little bit untruthful, but yeah. I think it's gonna be good. They started this company, it's not brand new. It started in 2020. So.
Okay. You made it sound like they just started it yesterday.
No. So the guy, both of them used to work at the old company I worked for, did an internship with, which was a really good company, but basically the one guy left to start his own company, and then the company that I was working at, after I wasn't working there anymore because I went back to school, went way downhill because everybody liked the one guy who left. Nobody liked the other guy. So like they lost a bunch of their clients who went to the other guy. And it was just him for a while, but then he hired my old boss like a year and a half ago. Basically since January of this year, they have been trying to get me to work for them, but I had my heart set on working for the government, so I didn't want to work for them. And now I've worked for the government, and it wasn't all it was cracked up to be. So, I think I'm gonna do it. But not till next year. So, I'm gonna stay in the county for a bit longer. What are your thoughts? I'll now be taking calls.
Yeah, well, we do not have anyone on the line right now. There is someone on Teams, but we are not able to accept that call.
Oh, Teams. I don't know why we even have it. No one uses it. It's just so odd. Yet we can't pay for a PDF editor. It's so odd to me. We might be finally getting a PDF editor, but anyway. No, I could have worked for the federal government, but like, I don't know. I've realized I kind of like being a little bit stressed out. I just have to be around the right people. And I'm very picky. But these people I know and have stayed in close touch with for the last like 4 years.
We'll see what happens.
So we'll see what happens. And then 6 months from now,
yeah,
we'll see.
And then 12 months from now, we'll be having a similar conversation.
Exactly.
Where you're like, maybe I want to do structural engineering. That was my true calling.
Maybe I want to become a nuclear technician.
That's not what it is, but okay.
Nuclear reactor supervisor?
That is a role.
You were a nuclear...
Don't worry about it.
Supervisor.
I wasn't a supervisor, but...
Somehow, what were you? What was your official... I knew your official title in Oswego. What was it?
Well, we may never know.
Nuclear reactor inspector?
Just keep using passwords and words that sound like they're right.
Nuclear reactor inspector supervisor.
Yeah, that's it. Oh, you got it.
It was something along those lines. I know it. Anyway, that's what I'm going to do after this next job.
Okay.
And I'm going to move to Oswego.
You don't have to move there. You can go work at Vogel. They're probably hiring.
That's I don't know if I want to live there. But anyway, that's my update. And I started taking Prozac. That's my other update.
Okay, people were asking about that as well.
Is it obvious?
I don't think so.
I think it's obvious. I'm so much more lax than I used to be.
I don't know. I feel like you're always the same.
You're always the same. So, have you made any friends? Or
No.
No?
No.
Have you thought about it?
I'm trying.
You're trying? Giving it a shot?
Yeah.
How's it going into the office sometimes?
What do you mean by that? Like,
don't you go into the office?
Yeah, I go in 2 days a week usually. Sometimes more, sometimes less.
Have you gotten to meet any people?
Oh yeah, no, I have plenty of colleagues that I'm friendly with, but I don't know. I just I guess I struggle with I don't. How do I put this? I guess meeting people isn't so much of an issue. It's more about executing the next step.
Yes, I do understand that.
It just sort of peters out, and I'm not aggressive enough, or maybe not aggressive isn't the right word, but
motivated enough,
extroverted enough, maybe.
Okay, yeah.
I
not
go through
good at that either.
waves of introversion and extroversion, and I'm in a pretty deep introversion valley right now.
Yeah.
Which I'm not unhappy. It's just that's just where I am.
That's fair.
I don't know why.
I don't know why either. It comes in waves. I mean, like you said. Maybe you're tired. Maybe I don't know. Maybe you need to be on Prozac. I'd recommend it.
Are you dealing?
It's a really pretty blue pill. It's super fun.
But I don't know that I guess I'm not
But you're not sad.
No, I'm not sad or unsatisfied. It's a really weird thing.
That is weird. I guess if you don't need more connection, there's no shame. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
You can.
Anyway, we do have to wrap it up soon.
Oh, okay. That got
I have
really
another client.
deep. Oh, that got really good. It felt like I've already had therapy once today, but this was therapy round 2.
Well, you're more than welcome to come on the podcast more often.
Well,
my schedule, as discussed, is very open.
I know, but I feel a little bit judged.
Oh.
Because I can't. At least I'm not getting fired all the time. Would that be worse?
No, it's just a fun. It's a fun adventure that you go on.
Fun adventure. I'm just trying to find, happiness. That's so wrong.
Some people when they try to find themselves, they go on like a sabbatical, right? They go around the world, they visit places they've never been. You just kind of try different sects of civil engineering, basically.
Sects of civil engineering. That's true. I gotta try it all, one thing I won't try though, that's hydrology. I have no.
I was about to say we didn't do hydrology yet. That would be the
water resources or a no from me.
No.
It's a no. But
well,
this would does it make you feel better if I'm going back into construction?
Mary, I'm going to be honest with you. I really don't have a vetting interest in your specific work. But I do want you to be happy, and I'm hoping this is the one.
Me too. it's not fun. For someone who hates change, I sure do make a lot of changes, I'll say. Um, but, you know, you spend a lot of time at work. You should enjoy it. That's how I, that's how I truly feel.
Yeah.
And I was chasing that dollar, and I think I realized that the dollar wasn't the most important thing in the world to me.